Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your brother from another brother, Maze, back on the mic once again. One half of the Lock and Loaded show. You already know the other half, right behind the mic, right behind all the technician that makes this thing happen. That's Jace Janae. Listen, we back here on a really good show tonight. I like to call this from redemption to establishment. And we got the one and only Mr. Ricky Evans in the house. And we're going to be talking about it from a standpoint that if you've ever been in a situation to where all you could do was look up, this is the show that you want to listen to and you want to tune in. So do me a big favor. As we go into this first break, I want you to listen and listen hard. Listen to the music as it prepares you for real talk for real people. I am your brother from another, and guess what? You on the Lock and Loaded show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Again, it's your brother from another, and you already know my other half is over there. Jace, why don't you go ahead and say what's up?
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Hey, you hear her now. At the end of the day, y'all, we back. And this time, we're talking about from redemption to establishment. And I really want to focus on that, y'all, because at the end of the day, I know all of us have been in this situation where we've been in a position where all we could do is look up and look for an opportunity that we can grasp onto. And I'm talking to a man who really exemplifies that. His name is Ricky Evans. Man, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing good.
Man, Ricky, let me tell you something. I know you're doing great. So don't just tell me you're doing good. You above water. You really doing good or you doing great?
I guess I'm doing great.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, listen, man. First and foremost, y'all. Um, I wanna take you back a little bit because, as you know, this show focuses 100% on gun violence reduction. And if I haven't said it before, we owe a lot of praise to the one and only community partnerships of the Ozarks, the one that helps us make this happen. But we were in a workshop, Ricky, and you know, and I'll go ahead and tell them, y'all. We was in a workshop for street outreach workers, and that's all about trying to get out there, reach to the youth. And I heard a story about a young man who was working with you because for what a lot of people don't know, Mr. Ricky Evans actually owns and mentors youth through a lawn care business. And what is so unique about it, man, is that when you think about if you ever used a lawnmower and you ever got there to make a little extra money, it's a serious business. I mean, Ricky, let me ask you this before
Yes.
we get to that part. Tell everybody where you from.
I'm from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and by way of trouble, I got moved to Springfield.
I got you. I got you. So you said by way of trouble. Now I know. Let's be real.
Mhm.
Let's not cover a sugarcoating thing.
Right.
You were incarcerated
Yes, sir.
and you spent your time.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people who were incarcerated and that I've ever come across, they always say this one thing, and I want you to tell me if this is true or not.
Mhm.
They have a lot of time to think about how they're gonna make it right. Is that something that you went through when you were incarcerated? I mean, kind of
Mm,
tell us that.
yeah, I went through how I'm gonna make it right or how I'm gonna make a change or
Mhm.
the difference. But a lot of people don't really sit in there and think about how they're gonna make it right.
Okay, okay.
Truthfully, a lot of people sitting there, what did they do wrong
Mhm.
and that they got caught,
Okay, okay. I like that.
you
I
know?
like that.
And they try to figure, well, if I hadn't have had gloves on, they wouldn't have got my fingerprints. They're trying to figure out the next level
Mhm.
so they can do it again.
There you go.
Because, but the thing of it, because they don't have no alternative, they don't see no other way.
Mhm.
So they go to back what they know. They just try they think they're refined in it,
Okay.
you know. So I see their point. I don't agree with their point,
Right.
but I
Right.
see where they're at.
You know, it's interesting you say that because I spent probably my first several years out of college working with parole. I worked with individuals who were just transitioning into how we say mid security type situations, getting themselves back out there. And
Mhm.
one of the cases that I dealt with was the fact that I had young men who were saying, approaching the job market. I
Mhm.
mean, the job market is never going to be the same from when you went in to now getting out. I mean, was that a challenge for you, or you tell me?
Yes, it was definitely a challenge, especially after doing the length of time I did.
Hmm.
So, but my thing I had put in my mind, I'm not going back to prison.
Right, right.
So I didn't care if I have to shovel snow or shovel human waste.
I like that.
So you got to get down dirty, and that was part of it. Whatever it took to make a dollar, then call me.
You know that is so true. I mean, we were talking off air just some of the things that I learned through my grandfather teaching me things. How to repair things,
Mhm.
and to the point where I can make money from it.
Mhm.
And when it came down to, I think about how you talk about lawn care, because I want you to kind of dig deep into that.
Okay.
It takes a person who really understands what that type of work really is to say this is what I want to do, or this is how I want to extend my skill sets. Kind of take me back to your youth. I mean, was this something that you learned in your youth that you said, you know what, this is what I want to do, or was there any other trades that you came across?
Yeah, my dad was kind of like a handyman,
Mm-hmm.
fix it, because being black at that time,
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't afford it, or you had to learn how to fix it yourself.
That part, right?
So he would tell me if the lawnmower broke or whatever, but I was kind of gifted and blessed in a lot of ways because I learned a lot of things from his sawmill,
Right.
and being around his trucks and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Where everybody else is out shooting basketball,
Mm-hmm.
I'm working.
You're
I'm
working.
working, fixing things,
Right.
changing
Right.
oil on trucks, whatever he say go do, you
Mm-hmm.
do. You don't question it, you just go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, I was hating it. But as I got older, all the things that he made me do came into effect in real life.
Right. Right.
Fixing your own washer and dryer and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm a homeowner, I don't have to call a repairman. I
I like that.
can do it myself.
I like that.
But as a child, because I didn't see the value and he didn't explain it to me, he just
Mm-hmm.
say, fix it. There's no reason behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And most younger men, younger people
Mm-hmm.
had to have a reason. They got to understand why they doing it, what, purpose.
Right.
And we don't give a lot of them that. We just say, do it
Right.
because I say so or whatever.
Do you think that's a lost value today? I mean, obviously there's situations where obviously fathers are not in the home as much. More women are teaching their young men how to do things, or they'll send them to somebody, say, "Hey, go to that person because they know how to do it." But sometimes there's no actual tie-in. Does that
Y-
make sense? What I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think it's kind of a lost value in some ways because, as they say, your mom can teach you how to love and give you the loving, but she can't teach a man to be a man.
I like that. Yeah.
And it's nothing against them.
Hmm.
It's just that I don't feel they can.
Hmm.
Now they can teach them even to have pride
Hmm.
and respect, but it's certain things that only a father or father figure can give a boy. You know.
I grew up in a single
Mhm.
parent home, and I remember, there were times where if my grandfather wasn't around, obviously uncles wasn't around. It was about what can I learn, and then things that I could ask my mom.
Mhm.
She did her best.
Right.
Obviously, she
Right.
did her best. So I see where you're coming from with
Yeah.
that. I kind of want to touch back on that just a little bit because you come from an area I call it the bottom. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's interesting because when I found out that on my father's side of the family, I had family in that area
In the boot hill.
already, in the Boot Hill,
Yes, sir.
like Sykeston
Yes,
and
sir.
and what was it?
Haytide, Cape Girardeau,
Cape
Poplar
Girardeau.
Bluff, all that.
Yeah, Poplar Bluff, Carruthersville,
Yep.
things
Mhm.
like that. It was interesting because I tell people this story because it was the first. I think I may have told you this first time I ever seen cotton.
Right.
I was a kid, man, and me and my cousin, we riding down with my granddad, and we was going to Arkansas. He went to go pick up
Mm.
some buckles, belt
Oh,
buckles.
yeah.
He was big on belt buckles, and he said, "Y'all want to ride?" So we rode down with him and another guy, man, and we get to the side of the road, and we just sitting there, and my granddad said, "Y'all look over there." We look. He said, "I want y'all to get out. I want y'all to go get me some of that white stuff."
Oh, yeah.
And and we like, "What white stuff you talking about?" He said, "Oh yeah, go get some of that cotton." So we like, "What?" So we going over there just like nothing. Went to go grab it. Went to
Mm.
pick it. And little did I know,
Yes,
I'm sitting
sir.
there with a bloody hand.
Yes, sir.
And that was like my first reality trip of what a lot of us was doing back in the day just to make a little bit of money.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's not to say that that was the only way,
Right.
but kind of share that experience as a youth, because the point I'm really trying to get at is work ethic.
Right.
What did that teach you growing up?
Well,
Not necessarily picking cotton, but you
Right.
understand what I'm saying.
well, working for me gave me a lot of self value.
Mm.
I sort of understand. Let's take mechanics.
Right.
It's not like football or anything else where you can, if something don't work right, basketball,
Mhm.
you can blame it on your teammate.
Right.
But when you're fixing a motor or something like that, when you get done, it's either going to run or it's not.
Mhm.
And you can't blame it on nobody else. It's on you. So it gives you a sense of self-worth.
I like that.
I made that happen. And it running right, and things like that. If it ain't, I can tweak it. I can fix it. But when you're playing in team sports, I don't think it gives you as much self-value
Mm.
as something like
Wow.
that.
Wow. Now that's kind of touchy right there, because you got a lot of youth now that's
Right.
out here and they're joining teams, and I'm a coach
Mhm.
myself, and
Right.
I say a lot of times, guys, if in order for you to uh, really be a team,
Mhm.
like a teammate, you
Mhm.
got to know how to be an individual.
Yeah.
You got to understand how to control your own emotions, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah. And
Wow.
your own surroundings.
That part. I like
Mhm.
that. I like that. You now here it is. You grow up in I call it the bottom,
Mhm.
and you learn these values. Obviously, there were some things that changed, and
Yeah.
I remember you told me one time off air, I think almost it was your mom or grandmother, was very, very integral in your life.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that relationship.
My grandmother I will say she had the heart of a saint,
Okay.
but she was so stern about her children
Mm,
and her grandbabies,
I like that.
But we didn't take no slack from her punishment or we was
Mhm.
wrong and stuff like that. But she ain't letting nobody mess with her babies.
I like that.
You
I
know what I'm
like that.
saying? But
Mhm.
she taught us a lot, She taught us she taught us about faith. She taught
Mhm.
us about God.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And she didn't say be a Baptist, a Pentecost, or whatever.
Mhm.
She taught us from the word of the Bible to instill that spirit in you,
Wow.
not because you're wearing a name or
Mhm.
anything like that. Now, she was a Baptist,
Right.
but she didn't teach us to be a Baptist.
Right.
She taught us the word of God from the book.
From the book itself, the
Yeah.
belief itself.
Yeah.
I got you. Kind of built your faith and
Yeah.
everything. And that's interesting, because at the end of the day, I'm a minister, and
Right.
I've learned that in my transparency, I've always wanted to know whomever I'm preaching or talking to, who was your guide? Who was the
Mhm.
one that put you in position to pay more attention to the word itself?
Mhm.
And a lot of times it is the prayers of the grandmother. It is
Yeah.
the getting up on Sunday morning, you coming with me, let's
Yeah.
go. You didn't have a choice.
Well, she told me this,
Yeah.
She said, no matter what name you put on it,
Mm,
what country you in, right?
mm,
She said, basically, you say Yahweh, Allah, or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But she said, I'm gonna put it to you simple like this. Let's say it's 4 boys in a family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking to their dad, right? One son might call him dad, the other one call him pops, the other one
Mm-hmm.
might call him
Mm-hmm.
old dude. You know what I'm saying? Now he got 4 different names and he's only one person.
Wow.
And she said, so no matter what religion you go,
Yeah.
you still basically praying to the same God.
Wow. Wow. You know what? Hey, everybody, listen, if you just tuning in, obviously you're listening to Mr. Ricky Evans. I call him the man with a plan. I mean, the entrepreneur himself. He's come from redemption to establishment, and he's making a connection with the youth. Hey, I tell you what, we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk more. Join us here on the Lock and Loaded Show.
Oh, yeah. It's time to mix it up and get your glow, girl. I know that you gon' get it. You got so much. Don't let nobody tell you that it's over. I want you to know that, girl. You got it. You got it. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You got it. You got it. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you my little baby. I'm gon' make it known.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We back. I am the one and only Brother Mays, aka Marlon Rashawn Gray's government name. Hey, y'all, if you haven't been listening, we have been getting into a little bit of the meat, but I got here my special guest, our special guest, I should say, Mr. Ricky Evans is in the house. And man, if you don't know him, you need to know him because with his gentle heart, gentle spirit, he's talking to us about from redemption to establishment, coming from a situation to where now he is working with youth in a very, very positive way. And we're going to talk more about that. But what we were just kind of getting from is talking about work ethic and what established that in his life. And he spoke a little bit about his grandmother and what she instilled into him. Ricky, I like what you said earlier about, you know, we don't necessarily say we have lost value, but nor more or less we have more of a, uh, and I'll put in my own words, we have a value that is optimized.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you because you got to utilize it in so many different ways. Kind of talk about when you made the transition, obviously out of incarceration, and you started to say, okay, this is now what I'm going to do with my life. What was the plan?
Well, I had a bunch of skill sets
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't sure. I know what I wanted to do, but I
Mhm.
didn't have the direction to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, okay, I need money. So how can I make some money?
Mm-hmm.
So it was easy for me to go buy a $100 lawnmower and pay for it the same day I mow a lawn,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I used that and then the skills that I knew about fixing them.
Mm-hmm.
So the lawnmower broke. I took it back to the store. They wouldn't change it. It said it's 30 days, 60 days
Right,
past the
right.
month. So I found another one on the side of the road. So I just took that, fixed it,
Mm-hmm.
and matter of fact, I still got it. And
The one that
it-
brought you, huh?
yeah,
I feel you.
and
Yeah.
it started making me my first money, so I could pay my rent and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and buy my shoes and clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a lot of good benefits in it. You know, and it goes on and on and on. You can just keep going and keep going. If you will work, then the lawn care business is there to make money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think I've mentioned it before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, you can take a little yard, that's $60. You can
Mhm.
mow it within an hour, $60 an hour.
There you go.
So that's doctor wages.
There you go.
You know,
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
you know,
A lot of people don't think about the principle of it. I mean, there's a business plan,
Mhm.
obviously, but there was one thing I learned. I got like my associate's degree in business
hmm
management, and I remember my professor telling me, you know, this is a process,
hmm
and along the process, these are the things that you have to have. Otherwise, business is not going to make sense to you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
hmm
And and so I got to the point where I said to myself, what is it that I need that this classroom doesn't teach me? And so I had to start resorting back to some things. And I know we talked off air. My grandfather taught me.
hmm
Man, that work ethic comes into place, but being on time, the simplicity of being on time,
Time. Yeah.
getting to and from your destination carefully
hmm
and planning your day. I,
hmm
I want you to, to chime back in on this because you start talking about, you get this lawnmower, you start making a business for yourself. At what point in time did it become like, okay, now that I know I can do this and I can make this money, how do I want to expand? And if I want to expand, who do I talk to?
Mm. Well, that's a good one because I'm an old man now, so
No, you ain't that
my
much older. Come on, I'm just playing.
my legs and stuff don't hold up like they used to.
Right,
So I had to know my limits now.
right.
But I was thinking if I had done it years ago,
Mm-hmm.
where could I be?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that it's money to be made there
Yeah, yeah.
if you're willing to put in the effort and
Mhm.
the energy to it.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know if it's bad thing or good thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe if you work hard and you had a desire, you can succeed in it.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs a yard mower.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody,
That's true.
trim, weeds pulled, whatever,
Mhm.
and it's the little things that make your lawn business
Mhm.
or people appreciate you more, you know.
I heard my neighbor say to me one time when she takes care of her lawn because she kind of grew up basically by herself,
Right.
and she says when I take care of my lawn, it's like me getting a pedicure and a manicure.
Mm.
She said it gives me the same feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
And and so it's personal care. We one of the reasons that we talk about this and we brought you in on the show is because you did something very unique. Obviously, you got to the point where you were very successful with the business, but you got to the point and you said to yourself, "Hey, I'm not the same person I used to be.
Right.
I'm obviously getting older." What was the transition for you to say, "Okay, I want to pass this on," but when I pass it on, were you just picking kids out of the neighborhood, or how did that connection make or
Well,
happen? I should say.
it kind of started. I was like, if somebody had it showed me more,
Mm-hmm.
or my dad had a. I used to blame everything on my dad. And I like, well, my dad had a guided me,
Yeah,
but I look back on it, my dad didn't know better,
that's a good point. That's a good point because I think we as parents, something that we do to our parents
Mm-hmm.
is we immediately guilt them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
We guilt them for the things that we didn't learn. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
I don't think we actually guilt them,
Mm-hmm.
but we have an scapegoat. We use our parents as
Okay,
an
I like
scapegoat.
that.
You
That's
know
a
what I'm
good
saying?
one.
Because kids now guilt them,
Mm-hmm.
but we use it as an scapegoat. We get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dad hadn't have done this, or my mom had to show me
That's a
this,
good
or
point.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We had a scapegoat for our own, I say, knuckleheadness or stupid
Mm-hmm.
things that we done.
Mhm.
So a lot of it's on us as kids and young
Mhm.
men and stuff.
Mhm.
We want the responsibility to go and come, but we don't want the responsibility that goes with the go and come to do what we want to do. And I think repairing, having a responsibility to mow yards, you got to
Mhm.
get it done before. You only can spend an hour here or an hour and a half,
Mhm.
and then taking care of your lawnmowers,
Mhm.
your oil and things, I think it gives you more of a sense of responsibility.
Mhm.
And now you got to go to this job and you got to take care of this because you got to do the next job. I got to do
Mhm.
this and that, So the one people don't understand about lawn care business,
Mhm.
when you are out there and you mowing the yard and stuff like, it's like going fishing.
Ooh, I like the analogy. Yeah,
Nobody is going to mess with you when you mow in the yard because
true.
nobody wants to work,
That's
right?
true.
But I personally, I can get lost in pushing a mower. I can, I go into my own thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all I got to do is follow the line. Basically, you just escape mentally.
Mhm.
And then you look up and the yard's done.
Yeah.
But nobody's gonna come at you out there sweating and you mowing that yard. Ain't nobody coming up there. Hey, what's up? Let me my turn.
That part.
Some more
Especially
kids,
the,
man.
especially
I
the,
love it.
especially the one who is.
If I see that, I'm like, it's too hot for me.
It's too hot for me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. But I'm
I
just
like
saying,
that.
but you
Yeah.
into your own little world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after a while, I think you even start taking pride on how you do it. Because when you bag up and look like, oh, I missed that big old spot.
That part.
So you have to, go back and fix it.
Man, I want to segue
Mhm.
from that to what do you see when you now let's fast forward a little bit here
Okay.
because now you're working with these youth or giving this youth or these youth the opportunity to be entrepreneurs, make their own money. Obviously, they're learning how to cut yards. What's transparent immediately when you're saying, "Hey, this is how you do this," and then you walk away? What do you see in them that makes him go, "Oh yeah, I can do this"?
Well, it ain't that easy.
I understand.
You walk away, and them youngsters, your more might be at the pawn shop.
Because they're running over something. I got you.
Or they finna, I could make a quick dollar off of selling this lawnmower, right?
Uh-huh.
But no, it's like most youth
Mhm.
want to be responsible. They got to feel needed.
That part.
At the same time, you cannot allow them to just pour me
Yeah.
you into helping them. Let them earn on their own
Mhm.
because they ain't got the motor yard.
Yeah.
Okay, where one won't, one will. You know what I'm saying? So you don't try to force him. You don't want to do it. Okay, next man up.
Next man up.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And then when we go out, like I get them all together
Mhm.
because they doing this with no money. They're not getting paid for it.
Mhm.
So when we
Now,
go,
are you finding, and not to cut you off, but are you finding this business, the business for them, or are they
yeah.
finding it
Yeah.
themselves?
No, I
How's that
find
work?
it, or sometimes we just go. I see a house where older people,
Mm-hmm.
single moms and stuff, and I see that yard's out of control.
Mm-hmm.
I just set it up. I tell them, look, a lot of times we don't even say nothing to people. We just set it up. We go in there, get it done, out of there before they can even talk to us.
Wow.
More, and we gone.
Mhm.
Or we already know there's older people there,
Right.
and we do it. I just got a call tonight from a lady, and they got an 80-year-old man. What they call it, the BDS or
Yeah,
something, the
yeah.
building something. They on this lady
Mhm.
about getting her yard mowed. So they called me, and I told them, I'll you get the address, tell me what the yard.
Mhm.
And I said, I don't have the help no more because school started.
Right.
I said, but I'll knock it out Monday. I just hope it ain't big, but I'm not, because they want to charge like $300 to mow
Wow.
the yard.
Wow.
So I just told her, I said, you find out my information.
Mhm.
I'll throw the lawnmower and weed eater in the car, and I'll get there and I'll do it myself, since that's my off day. But
I say grab you a machete too, just in case you gotta.
Sure, come get your machete.
No,
You know,
I got something
if
for
it's a
that too.
jungle.
Let me tell you something. My ex-wife is Jamaican, and so the first time that we were together, and obviously the area where we lived at obviously had a lot of a lot of people from the islands,
Mhm.
and so it was like the first time that I realized that she had a machete. Like real talk. I was going to go cut something from a friend of mine's yard. I was like, all right, I got it. I got my shears and everything.
Right.
I'm good to go. She says, you need it's funny because she called me Poppy.
Mhm.
But Poppy and being
Right.
Jamaican, two different things. Anyway, she said, you need some help, Mom? And I'm like, what you talking about? And she pulls out this machete that was longer than my arm.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me show you something. And
Yep.
there it is.
Mhm.
And I looked at her like, you had that in the house this whole time? Nah, bro. Nah. No, for y'all that don't know, machetes ain't no joke.
No,
You was
they
asking the wrong question. You should have been asked for some lessons of right swing. on
You
it,
Yeah.
know, you
what I'm
right, but
saying?
I,
It's
but
the
but-
technique.
But see, by
But
this
it
time,
is.
by this time, months went by. We've been married. You know, it is what it is. But I'm saying to myself, how is it I did not know that you had this machete?
because she had it normal. Because a cop wears a gun. It's normal.
Right.
A lot of times you don't even see his gun
That's
because
true.
you're looking at him because you know it's normal for him to have.
I like that philosophy.
And her, it was probably normal to have it there, and they probably wasn't hiding or nothing.
No,
And you probably seen it and didn't see it.
no, but here was the funny part about it. You know, we set up one night and I asked the question. I said, somebody breaking the house. What you doing? You know, I know me. I carry. I had
Right,
I had guns and stuff. She says,
I got me knife, man.
one at that part, one by the bed, had another one by the
Right.
chair. I was like, what the? Anyway, y'all, it is what it is. You know, we get to this point, and it takes me back when you talk about being transparent, and you're giving these kids this opportunity to start cutting yards and making money. Obviously, they're in school now, but this opportunity does something. And I know in our street outreach that we do, one of the things that we talk about is connecting with them in a different format. So is there times in between cutting the yards that these young men or women as well
Mhm.
are saying to you, hey, can I ask you something? Or can we talk about this? Is it something that gets away from the lawn care that now you're talking about life?
Oh yeah.
Kind of explain that.
Well, for me, it's kind of hard because I'm just getting used to it
Mm-hmm.
from emotions and stuff from Miss Francine Pratt. She's taught me about emotions. I went to classes and things. So
Mm-hmm.
when a young man comes up and he's very disturbed about a situation,
Mm-hmm.
what I have learned, just listen.
Yeah.
Just listen to him. Let him.
The art of listening.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
Okay.
don't say they right, they wrong, or nothing. Just listen to them. And sometimes they be saying, they shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have done this to me, or they shouldn't have said this. And he'll say, something like, well, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think, or what do you feel? And a lot of times, just that little thing there will have them just either break down or tell you what's really they feeling or what's in their head. And I don't have the answers,
Well.
but just by listening to them, I feel a person, I get more in touch with him, and it helps me guide him more in a direction that he wants to go.
Hey, y'all, if you're just joining us or you've been listening, you're listening to the Lock and Loaded Show. We've had Mr. Ricky Evans, him, the entrepreneur himself, the man that has come from redemption to establishment, talk to us about the connection. And we're getting into the meat of the why behind what he does with his business, but at the same time, just being there. And before we go to break, I want you to meditate on this question. What is it that I needed when I was younger in order to help me better understand what my future was going to be like? Hey, it's the Lock and Loaded Show. Come back. We'll be back in a few minutes.
trees, and will you hang around? Grab a hold, it's real. Can you stay the ground? Man, the force, my dear tiny warrior. Can you be my shield? Keep my armor up. Honor all ideals, say. Honor amongst these. Wear a heart on our sleeves. Throw away our feelings. They don't need to be safe. We don't need to play safe. Running home, are you running wild? Jungle fever, coming down. Divine reaches. One-on-one with my demons. Switching up, define trees, and will you turn around? Never change, please, will you hear me now? Hear me daily, will you tune it up? Drive me crazy, will you? Drive me crazy, will you? Hang around, grab a hold, it's real. Hear it out, long as it's sincere. Know the truth is, we both know how this ends. Tell me lies, baby. Tell me how we locked in, see. Not too late to call it hearsay. Say my name, make it clear, say it. Won't be long, but I'm here, say. Coming home, are you? Running wild, jungle fever, yeah. Coming down, divine reaches, oh. One-on-one with my demons, still switching up, define trees, and will you?
Hey, y'all, you already know it's your one and only Brother Maze. I'm back. I'm back with the one and only Ricky Evans. And if you've been listening prior to the break, you would have heard Mr. Ricky Evans himself talk about, man, that transition, that question. And what I mean by that is, and I want to take you back a little bit, because we were talking off air. You know, a lot of us get older and we say to ourselves, what is it that I could say to myself, my younger self, either when I was 13, 16, 21, whatever the case may be, that would help motivate me. But in some cases, what is it that I needed to hear from that person or that mentor? And sometimes it's our parents and sometimes it's not. But what is it that I needed to hear? And we started to touch on that a little bit. Ricky, I feel like some of these kids, yeah, they wanna cut a yard, but some of them sound like they there because they need to hear from a man. They need to hear from you. Talk about that conversation.
Well, I had a few young men who wants to more or less want you to listen to them,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have a solid direction on where they want to go. So I feel like just showing them different things,
Mm-hmm.
so many different things they can do. You ain't got to push them more. You can fix them more.
Mm.
You
Man,
know,
that's a good. That's
things
okay.
like that. And because everybody think you got to be out in the grass. No, you can just fix the motor itself and let somebody else push the
Mhm.
lawnmower or ride the lawnmower or whatever, or the weed eater. It's so many different fields in being small engine mechanic,
Okay.
because it's just opportunities. You can be the writer, or you go into play something like, say, steels, and
Right.
all you do as a writer, you don't fix nothing.
Mhm.
You just listen to what the people say, you write it down on a piece of paper, then you send it back there to the mechanic. And that guy get as much pay as the guy fixing the motor itself.
Man, you let me tell you something. You just taught me something because I never thought of that.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember I used to do my own oil changes and everything like
Mhm.
that, but now I pull up quick in the Jiffy Lube and here's a guy that's greeting me,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time he's asking me these key questions.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yep.
He's writing up the report so
Yep.
that okay,
He
I
can
like
send
that.
it back to, and then they do the exact same thing in auto mechanics.
Yeah.
I go out here to Nissan. You got a guy. You pull your car in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
This guy say what's going on. He run through the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Then he sends it back to the garage
Mm-hmm.
to the mechanic to fix whatever's going on with it.
Yeah.
And he just tells you sometimes, oh, the part's gonna cost this much, and it's gonna take
Mhm.
2 hours to do it, and the labor's gonna cost.
There you go.
And he
There
ain't
you
did nothing.
What have you learned, Ricky, since being in this program? Because you know, and I never really asked you how the transition started, especially with street outreach. But I just know that we see each other in
Yeah.
the classes, and we kind of give our own testimonies and everything. What have you learned since being in these workshops that's helped you with the business itself?
Wow, there's so many different ways you can go with that question.
Mhm.
Oh, that's just it's a lot of different ways.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say what really got me. They had a class in the workshop
Mhm.
where this guy came in and gave these speeches,
Mhm.
and he was saying the same thing that I was already doing. You know, listening to these young men, hearing what they have to say.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And then not as much telling them, well, this is what you need to do, or this is what I
Right.
would do, or you know what I'm saying? Just listen to them and ask them key questions like, what do you want to do?
Ah, I love it.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know exactly what you mean.
And like my dad, he just would say, do what I say.
Yeah.
Just, no explanation. And I just had to do it.
Mhm.
It has good points and it had its bad points.
Yeah.
Because he didn't explain nothing to me. He didn't stay there and watch and see if I did it right or nothing.
Mhm.
He leave for 3 hours, come back. If it ain't done, you get your butt whooped. You know, and you don't know if you done it right or not. You
part.
know,
That part.
so and then he might say, "Oh, it ain't done right," or "It is done right," and he still might whoop your butt just to give you a little motivation.
I
you
know.
call it.
I totally get it. I totally
You
get
know,
it.
But I think most of the young men
Yeah.
now, they need to be heard,
Mhm.
but at the same time, not to be pacified.
Ooh. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna get deep with that one.
Yeah, because
Because people gonna listen to this and they're gonna say, you know, I'm the problem. Because as a parent, I've learned I can't give too much to one over the other, but then I feel bad because if I don't give too much to one over the other, then I feel like I failed.
well, have you tried not giving and letting them earn it?
Oh, I have, but through learned experiences. You know, I have 3 beautiful daughters
Yeah.
and a son, and I look at it from like, okay, what did I do wrong with this one over this one, or what did I do right over this one? And so I kind of measure
Balancing that,
myself.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a balance. What do you've gotten to this establishment with the trust factor? Let me put it that way. You got this trust between you and these youth, and now they're back in school. Have you talked to some of them since to where they say, "Man, I appreciate Mr. Evans, you know what you taught me here. Now I'm using it in the classroom." Has something like that happened as of yet, or?
Well, last year when we first started the program, basically, I had a few, who saying the dad was surprised that when the lawnmower couldn't start, he couldn't get it, and he went out there and fixed it.
Mm,
And they said, "Where you learn that from?"
there you go.
So that kind of made me feel good and made him feel good.
Right.
But he ended it with a smart comment, and because him and his dad had a little rough thing. And he said, "Well, you didn't teach me that."
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
his dad was kind of proud of him, but he
Mhm.
killed that pride by his response. So
Mm.
when he was telling me, I'm trying to show him where he could have been killing a relationship that was already on the edge. You know what I'm saying?
I
By
understand.
shooting back at his dad
Yeah.
for not showing him.
Mm.
So it's a balancing act, but you don't want to get into the family dynamics with him too.
Yeah.
You got to concentrate on this kid and showing him different things and showing him different opportunities
Mhm.
that he can do.
Does this and you don't have to answer this if you
Mhm.
don't want to, but it kind of brought me there.
You said keep it real, right?
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
let's
We're gonna
go
keep
then.
it. You good with
Let's
it?
go.
Okay. You never told me whether you had kids or not. And through these experiences,
Mhm.
is it like having a second, third, and a fourth chance working with these young men? Being in a role model, maybe even a father figure model way?
Well, I had kind of 2 adopted sons from a previous marriage, a 30-year marriage.
Okay.
And then I don't know, even when I was a kid, I was always good with children.
Mm-hmm.
Now, stepping up to the juvenile age and a little higher, it's a different role, but
Right,
then it's
right.
the same thing because they have the same kind of attitudes
Right.
that children have. Children just strike out different. They throw tantrums, and
Mhm.
they don't do things like that. But adults, they connive, they say things and they do
Right.
things and that ain't kosher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One minute they with you, they saying one thing. They with this person, they saying
Saying
another thing.
yeah. Trying your
You
patience.
know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So I rather deal with a child a lot of times or a younger person
Mm-hmm.
who's trying to learn than
Mhm.
dealing with an adult that you can't teach.
Man.
Yeah,
You know.
trying to work with someone that already know better
Yeah.
versus someone that's
Man,
trying to
you
learn better.
Right.
well, y'all explaining my
Yeah.
last year or two. I've kind of dumbed down from teaching
Mhm.
in the classroom as much as with the younger
Mhm.
generation in comparison to working with adults now or
Mhm.
young adults, because there's this sense of
Entitlement.
there you go. Woo, you hit it on the spot.
Entitlement.
I walk in the classroom and somebody's like, I already know what you're gonna teach us. I'm like, hold up. Well, if you already know, why you in this class? You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's like you feel like, wait a minute, I got to go back to basics just to get your respect.
Mm.
And that takes me to this next question, because you're earning trust,
Mhm.
you're earning respect, and it's reciprocated.
Yeah.
In the end result, are these young men, or is the goal to put these young men in a position where they can be independent and do for themselves, or is the goal to teach them everything you can and just hope they take something? Does that make sense? Because you don't have
Yeah.
a lot of time with them,
Right.
but you just have this segment of time.
Right.
What is that?
Well, my whole thing is like this. You heard the old thing about a toolbox?
Oh yeah.
You know, it's better to have your toolbox full of tools whenever a job come up, so you have the right tools for the
You have the
job,
right time. Yeah,
or you
right.
be able to navigate. And that's what I do. I'm just trying to feed them more ways to do things in life, not
like that.
trying to teach them this is the right business.
Yeah.
This is not. I'm just trying to say this is an opportunity. This is something because when you get older and you can buy your own house, you know how to clean your yard.
Hmm.
There's $100 you can save because you mowing your own yard or you're fixing your own lawnmower
Right.
and stuff like that. It's not for them to have to go into that field. That's their choice, But later on, they can do that, fix their own thing or tighten the screw up. Well, I don't know how to do that,
Right.
So
Right.
if they want to, if they want to learn, I'll give you what I got.
Hmm.
But if you don't want to learn, then I'm saying move out the way. Let somebody who wants to learn. Ain't nothing being forced on you or nothing. Don't bring no garbage in here. Let's just work on lawnmowers and things. I get questions all the time. Well, where do I get our parts from? I said, if you want a basketball, where you go get it? Walmart. Oh,
There you go.
there it is. And then if they ain't got it, you go to Lowe's or something like
There you
that.
go. There you go.
Worst coming to worst, go to Amazon.
There you
You
go.
know, if you want some pair of shoes, you know where to go. You make a
Get
way
what
to
you
find them
need.
shoes.
Right.
Make a way to find that part or that too. You had to put things in reality for them.
Mhm.
And the most important thing is to let them think. Don't do the thinking for them.
Yeah.
Allow them to think.
I
'Cause a
want
lot, A lot of times we got them and we put them in a box to think this way. We want them to think this way or do
Mhm.
how you think it should be done.
I want to switch gears a little
Mhm.
bit, just because now we're talking about, you know, the role of an adult,
Mhm.
and obviously as parents,
Mhm.
to each his own. Everyone is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But are we dropping the ball? And we're talking about being real. Are we as parents dropping the ball when it comes to teaching discipline and teaching, um, again, you know, trust itself? I mean, I know that's kind of hard to teach, but you got to you got to humble yourself in order to be able to trust somebody in a lot of ways. I mean, as a parent, are we not giving them again the right tools so that they can come out and learn and work for someone like yourself, or work in an environment where you have a boss that is very engaging or something like that? Can you kind of answer that a little bit?
Well, that's another one of the questions that's wide
I
open.
know it's kind of loaded, but
Yeah.
I think I know. I think you know where I'm going with this.
I'm gonna say I don't know if the parents are dropping the ball. I think we as a community is dropping the ball.
Okay, but no, okay. But since we're saying that, but the community
Mm-hmm.
will be easy to say that's not my
Responsibility.
responsibility.
Well, you know those saying, the African saying about the village.
Oh yeah, it takes a
I believe
village.
that now in my heart. I
Yeah.
believe that's true because I remember my neighbors.
Mm.
I used to say they were snitching. Right.
Well, there's
And,
always one in
yeah,
the
we always
right,
had
let's
this
be real.
lady looking out her window, right? She knew everything going on, right?
Mhm.
And she was telling mom on her,
Mhm.
right? Or whatever. Or she see somebody
Right.
doing something mean for the neighbor, she calling the cops, you know?
Yeah.
We used to call it snitching.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't. She do the right thing. She was a citizen. She doing the right thing. She see something going wrong, she did what she's supposed to do. Only the criminal gonna be looking at him at snitching because she doing the right thing.
Right.
I want her. If somebody was breaking in my house,
Mhm.
call them for me.
Yeah.
I'm at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. She ain't snitching in if she's
Yeah.
saving you.
Yeah. This is the time that you need to be
Yeah.
being nosy.
Right.
Right. I got you.
But
I
see,
got you.
as a community, I think even back in the 80s when I first seen them take the what they call the Pledge of Allegiance out of the
Oh
school,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of raised as a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
So we didn't do the Pledge of Allegiance. But we stood up as respect for you about what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't do the cross the heart thing and all that.
Right.
But
Right.
we showed you we respect what you believe in.
Right. Well, obviously, you still had
Right.
values, and respect
But
for people.
even
Okay.
with the Pledge of Allegiance, it gave a child a sense of honor or respect. But by them just snatching away now, nobody knows the Pledge of Allegiance no more.
Yeah.
Unless but at a ball game.
It's
You know?
interesting you say that because I always go back to that. I grew up where you had to pledge allegiance. We had prayer in school.
Right.
Obviously, when I first got into college, that's when they stopped.
Mhm.
And it was just recent in the latter few years that you have charter schools, you have some private schools who added it back in. But the public schools was like,
Yeah.
pray,
Yeah.
pledge allegiance.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When did it become a choice to be, how would I say this, a patriot, a
Right.
true patriot
Right.
for your country?
Right.
Now, everybody's, I'm sure, will listen to this and go, oh, wait a
Oh,
minute,
wait a minute,
nah,
yeah.
bro, nah, look what's going on over in the White House and this and that and everything.
Yeah.
We, my God.
Well, I'm gonna say it gives you a sense of honor.
There you go.
And something to believe in other than yourself.
Yeah. Well, we have some liberties, man.
Yeah.
We have some freedoms and liberties that, man, I tell you, some
People
of my
would
account,
love for.
man, I got some friends that from different countries. They be like,
Yeah.
oh no, we would have never did this.
Yeah.
My buddy from India, he he always tell me, man, your hand would be cut off now. Be cut off now. That's how he said. Your hand be cut off now. I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't just take nothing off my desk. I'm like, what? But when you think about that, it makes a lot of sense.
We take it for granted.
Take it for granted.
Yeah.
My God, man.
Adults and all.
There you go. There
You
you
know,
go.
we don't even think about it. How many times you've been to the bank and you pick up a pen or something? You
Mhm.
don't ask them if you can have a pen.
Yeah.
You just see a bunch of them there and you put in your
Oh,
pocket
well, I'm good
or
for that,
keep.
man. I'll take some pens in a minute. I can't tell you last time I bought a pen.
Now, is your child looking at that and looking at you as a sign of a thief?
Yeah, that's true. I ain't never think about that, man.
You know, so now the
I guess
child,
I'm teaching
but
my kids wrong because I got a
you
whole
now
bunch
you
of
mad at
pens.
you mad at child when he see a bunch of candy bars there and he grab a candy bar and put it in his pocket.
That's true. That's
You know?
true, man. You know, Ricky, and I know we closing down. We're getting
Yeah.
close to saying goodnight to this.
Yes, sir.
I mean, wonderful talk, man. I really appreciate you coming back to this show, and you know, guys, I'll be real with you. We actually did this interview a few weeks back, and man, I'll be the first one to tell you, man. Little technical issues, you know. I'll be the first one to say it's probably my fault. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of glad we did do this again because it gave me a chance to be able to get to know you a little bit more and to understand the real why behind this. You know, and again, for those that's joined the show and you're listening, we are with Mr. Ricky Evans, and we have been talking about his transparency of from redemption to establishment and taking a lawn business, the simplicity of a lawn business, and using business concepts to teach our youth how to be independent, codependent at the same time, but really independent for themselves. And you know, I have to really take my hat off. I ain't got one on right now, but I'm taking it off in literally because I respect that. I don't know how many times you're gonna hear this, but thank you. Thank you, Ricky. Like real talk. There are some things out here, professions that we overlook because we think it's not this or it's not that. But when you start thinking about the concepts that are being built out of what you're doing, it really, really, really puts things into perspective. Before we go, I kind of want you to say this to our audience. And for those that don't know, we're both part of Ricky and myself, and Jace are part of a initiative that's all about gun violence reduction. And no matter if you're doing it from the studio standpoint, if you're doing it from a lawn care business standpoint, we got people out here doing it from an athletic standpoint. We got others who are in the nitty gritty going into DJJ, Department of Justice, or whatever the case may be, and or DOJ, I should say, and they're talking to the youth and things because when you really think about it, and I have to say it this way, the gun really is not a physical weapon. Think about what I'm about to say here. It's really not the physical weapon that we should be scared of. It's the mentality behind it. And that's where I believe you come in, and I've said this many times, you know, Ricky, you probably the unsung hero in this type of a community. Tell people the things that from this program, if they were just hearing you, seeing you for the first time, and you had to give them a 1-minute pitch on what you've learned and how you've been able to transition it into your own, tell people what this is all about for you.
It gives me a sense of peace, really, that knowing I could give people something that I missed out in my childhood, that somebody is listening to me and will help me, how you say, further my growth in something I'm interested in or just learning. You know, it's just, we just got to listen more and take our own egos out of it and let it be about the kid, about the young person. You know, and that's something it's hard for me to do even sometimes. But we take our own egos out and really listening to what they saying. Sometimes we can hear them and hear them loud.
I don't know. You got to take a minute to meditate on that one, y'all. Ricky, there's a parent out there right now who's listening, and they definitely want to. They're saying to themselves, "How do I get my child involved in working with Mr. Ricky?"
Hmm.
How does that come about?
Hey, just get a hold of a community partnership,
Okay,
and they can they know how to get in touch with me.
I like
And if
that.
they want to learn how to fix something, just call me up. I know I'm hard to catch sometimes because I'm busy.
Oh no, you're a
But
busy man.
yeah,
Yeah, you're a
but
busy man. I'll give
you
you
know,
that.
I will return your calls. I will eventually get to them or
Mhm.
whatever. But yeah, just get with community partnership. Or this young man here, he got my number. He can get right to me.
Yeah. Oh, trust me.
He know how to get right
Let
up.
me
He
let me
can
tell
get
you
right in.
something.
I'm
Let
gonna
me.
I'm gonna just pull up to your house. I know where
You
you
All
gonna
right,
pull up.
yeah,
Jace
ain't
got
that
the
fool.
inside
Yeah.
connection. You know, I got to thinking. I said, my son, he'll be back. He'll be 6 by the time he gets back. Spend some time with me for the summer. Obviously, you know, we talk about this all the time. I said, no, you're gonna be working because you know, a few years ago, this real talk, he would go with me to cut my aunt and uncles and grandparents' yard, and he get behind me and he look and he go, "All right, Dad, I want to do it," and I let him do it. Now, of course, I get the money. I'd be like, "All
Break
right,
him off.
I'll give you some. You did this, you did that." And something he said, and I'm glad that we kind of talk about this because he said to me, he said, "I'm learning how to be a king,"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah,
"Boy," but then when I got to think about it, I said, "You're exactly right."
yeah.
You know, you can't be a king until you're a prince,
Mm.
until you have been in a situation where you've served.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got parents out here who are going to be looking, and obviously, thank you for letting them know to get in touch with your community partnership of the Ozarks. Obviously, y'all, that man, they are working wonders in this community, especially if you're here in the field. Okay, in the field, and that's Springfield, Missouri. But here we go. We're going to finish out the show, but I want y'all to think about this because here it is. We're getting ready to close out, but here's the question that's going to connect you to the next. What is it that I can do? Think about that. And talk to yourself. What is it that I can do to contribute to my neighborhood, to my community, so that we can live in a better place? Hey, y'all, listen. Ricky, is there anything you like to say to close off and just tell our folks anything that's on your heart, on your mind?
Forgive your child. He only learning from you.
You really don't want me to talk no more, do you? Oh my God.
That's deep.
That is real.
What?
Hey, how we say it? Plug.
Plug.
Hey, that's a
What?
plug. Forgive your child. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. You know, Ricky Evans was our special guest tonight, and I think we all who have experienced this experience itself have learned something. If we haven't learned anything about the lawn care business, we learned a little something about ourselves. And with that being said, hey y'all, give a couple shout outs. Shout outs again to community partnerships of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Man, they doing it. We thank you. I want to give a shout out to NAACP. This past weekend, they had a great opportunity to award many of these people in the community who are doing something to really better themselves, and in general, our community. And what they do is every year, if you have never been to a fundraising banquet that they have, and Ricky, I want you to stay with me because I'm gonna have you there next year. Jace was supposed to come with me, but you know, Jace has some other business to take care of. It's all good.
My
But
bad. My bad.
it's
She-
you know,
she
it's all
busy.
good.
She busy too.
It's all oh man, Jace is way busy. Jace more busy than all of us at the end of the day. But I respect that grind. But at the end of the day, guys, big shout outs to some of the winners: Sam Timmerman, Melody Room. Obviously, young lady. I'm gonna give her flowers. Miss Ariel Horton. Oh man, great young lady. Parkview High School. She definitely got her award. There was a D. Ogilvy for the drum major award they have. And again, I might be missing a lot of different people when I say this, but these are people who are always on it some kind of way. And of course, there was a scholarship award that went out to a young lady. She's at the Mizzou right now. I don't know why I can't think of her name, but she was a scholarship winner for the through the NAACP. She actually plays in the band up there, and my God, she's Johnny McNeil and Melissa McNeil's daughter. Lord forgive me, I don't know why I'm forgetting her name. But either way, all it is, guys, if we want to be effective in this with our youth, okay, we have to be a part of their upbringing. We have to be a part of their empowerment. We have to be a part of their future. Hey, y'all, I am only one half of this Lock and Loaded show. And we have been going strong now for almost 2.5, 3 months.
Yep.
If you guys want to keep listening, keep pumping away and telling us what we need and what you want, listen to the show. Chime in with us on our email. We got artists that are coming up, guys. Just go to our Facebook page.
Yeah, don't be afraid to leave comments,
Please.
subscribe. If you're looking to be on the show, shoot us an email, LOCKNLOADED417@gmail.com.
That part
We'd
right
love
there.
to have you.
Yes, we would love to have you. Hey guys, I'm just one half of the Lock and Loaded show. I am Brother Mays, aka Marlon Rashawn Graves. You've been listening to us. Obviously, my other half, you already know, Miss Jace
Yes,
Janae.
sir.
All right, and here our special guest tonight was Mr. Ricky Evans.
Queen City Soul.
Oh,
Yes.
talk. See right there. But that's a plug right there.
Plug.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all go get y'all plate.
Go get y'all a plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Queen City.
We
Get
got
that.
you.
Hey, what'd you tell me? I'm gonna put it out there. What'd you tell me, man? I'm gonna get some of that peach cobbler.
Man, that peach cobbler.
I
so
think off
good
the
today.
chain.
Mm.
Woo! Francine
Yes,
Pratt.
Yes.
I know that's a family recipe. Jace, do you know that recipe?
Oh, I know
Yeah,
it.
you know the
to a
recipe?
Yeah.
T.
You know it to
I
a
can
T?
make it right now.
You can make it right now?
No
Can I
paper
hold
and
you to
stuff.
that?
Yeah.
Can I get my
Oh,
pan?
don't even get in my business. Nah,
Hey, y'all have a good one. Until next time, this is the Lock and Loaded show, y'all. Have a good one.